It was supposed to be a special night, your second anniversary, 2 years of love, companionship, and trust with Jungkook. You had planned everything perfectly. Booking a romantic dinner, getting the perfect dress, and even spending hours choosing a gift you knew he had loved. Yet, as the night unfolded, the unaccepted happened. Your world crumbled. As you stood in front of your full length mirror, smoothing out the creases in your dress, excitement bubbles in your chest, you could already imagine the smile on Jungkook's face. When he saw you tonight, you had a small box with an engraved watch for him, symbolizing how you had come in these 2 years. You checked your phone again. No message from Jungkook. That's the strange, you whispered to yourself, pacing around the room. Usually by now, Jungkook would have messaged you something playful or sweet, but tonight, nothing. Brushing off uneasy feelings, you grabbed your purse, slipped into your heels, and headed out the door. The restaurant was not far from where you lived. So you decided to surprise Jungkook by going to his office first. You thought he had be finished work and it would be nice to pick him up for your special night. The journey to his office felt longer than usual. Something heavy was setting in your chest, making you feel uneasy. The closer you got, the more your heart raced, but you pushed the feelings aside, blaming it on nerves. You were just excited night. Upon reaching his office building, you waved at the receptionist who smiled coquettily at you. Oh, hi, Ryan. She greeted you, but there was something off in her voice, something guarded. Is Jungkook still here? You asked, your heart already starting to thud painfully in your chest. She hesitated. Yes, but maybe. Before she could finish, you gave her a quick nod and headed to the elevators, brushing off the old stains. As you stood in the elevator, your palms were clammy, a knot was forming in your stomach. When the elevator doors opened on Jungkook's floors, everything seemed normal. People were working, papers roasting, and phones ranged, but something did not sit right with you. You made your way down the corridor towards his office. His door was slightly ajar, and as you approached, you heard muffled voices. One of them was Jungkook's. You froze. Jungkook, a woman's voice, giggled softly. Your blood ran cold. You edged closer, your heart pounding so loud you were sure it would burst out of your chest. Slowly, you pressed through the small opening in the door, your breath hitching in your throat. There he was, Jungkook, the man you loved, trusted, and had bullied 2 years of memories with, and in his arms was another woman, his assistant, Hana. She was leaning against the desk, their faces inches apart, whispering to each other with the kind of intimacy that ripped your heart in two. Tears welled up in your eyes and your knee felt weak. You stepped back, trying to make sense of what you were seeing, but it was all too real. How long have you been seeing her? Your mind screamed, but your throat felt tight, unable to release the words. Taking a deep breath, you pushed the door open, your voice shaking as you spoke. Jungkook. Both of them froze, their eyes wide with shock. Hannah quickly stepped away from him, her face pale. When Jungkook stammered, her eyes wide with guilt. You could feel your words colping, every heartbeat echoed with pain. How could you? He stood up, his hands trembling. It's not what it looks like, Ryan. Please, let me explain. Tears spilled on your cheeks as you took a shaky step forward. Not what it looks like. I saw everything, Jungkook, on our university days. How long has this been going on? His eyes darted to the floor, unable to meet your gaze. That was all the confirmation you needed. Your heart shattered into a million pieces. As you stared at him, trying to understand how the man you loved could do this to you. Was I not enough for you? Did I mean nothing? Your voice broke and the words hung in the air between you. Jungkook ran a hand through his hair, his eyes finally meeting yours, full of regret. It was a mistake. I never meant for this to happen. I don't know what I was thinking. You were not thinking, you cried, your voice rising in the empty office. You did not think about us, about me, while I was planning to celebrate our love tonight. You were here with her. You could not even bring yourself to say Hannah's name. Hannah had slipped out of the office at some point, leaving the two of you alone in the painful silence. Jungkook reached out towards you, his voice soft and pleading. Ryan, please, let's talk about this. I will make it right, I promise. But you stepped back, your body trembling. You can't make this right, Jungkook. You have broken something that can't be fixed. There was a long push before you spoke again, your voice barely above a whisper. I trusted you, I loved you. How could you throw it all away so easily? Jungkook's face twisted with guilt, but it did not matter anymore. The damage was done. I don't deserve you, he muttered, his voice thick with emotion. You laughed bitterly through your tears. You are right, you don't. The silence between you was deafening. All those memories, all those moments felt like a cruel joke now. I can't do this anymore, you said, your voice barely audible. I deserve someone who will love me, not someone who will betray me. Jungkook's eyes widened and he reached out of grab your hand, but you pulled away, your heart heavy with finality. I am leaving Jungkook. I am done. The words were like knives cutting through both of you. Please, Ryan. His voice cracked, but you turned away, wiping the tears from your face. There's nothing left to say. You whispered, I hope she was worth it. That you walked out of the office, each step feeling like you were leaving behind not just Jungkook, but the person you once were. The weight of betrayal sat heavy in your chest, but you knew one thing for certain. You deserved better. You deserved someone who would never make you question your worth. Someone who would never make you feel like second best. As you left the building, the night sky sat fresh above you, cold and indifferent, and while your heart was shattered, there was a strong sense of relief. You had finally walked away from someone who did not value you, and in doing so, you reclaimed yourself. Months has passed since you walked out of Jungkook's life. Through the pain had been unbearable at first. You slowly found yourself feeling, rediscovering your worth. Each day you grew stronger, focusing on yourself and the life you wanted to build. Your friends and family had been your greatest support, encouraging you to move forward. And then one day, amidst the Joseph feeling, you met someone new. His name was Taehyung, a kind-hearted man who worked at the same company you had recently joined. Unlike Jungkook, Taehyung made you feel appreciated at scene. He was not flashy or overly charming, but he sincerely touched your heart. He would often bring you coffee, share jokes during lunch, and listen to your stories without judgment. It was not long before your casual friendship blossomed into something deeper. The young was not trying to replace your past. He simply wanted to be part of your future. He was gentle, thoughtful, and most importantly, trustworthy with him. You felt safe, like you could finally start to trust again. One evening, as you sat together in a cozy cafe, Taehyung reached across the table, gently holding your hand. His eyes were soft, full of affection. Ryan, he began, his voice steady. I know you have been through a lot. I don't want to rush anything, but I want you to know that I am here for you, always. A warmth ran through your chest, and for the first time, in what felt like ages, You smiled sheepishly without any lingering sadness. Thank you, Taehyung. You replied softly, squeezing his hand. I think I'm ready to move forward. As the weeks passed by, you and Taehyung become inseparable and treated you with the love and respect you had always deserved. Slowly but surely, you began to forget the pain Jungkook had caused, focusing instead on the happiness that the Youngs brought into your life. Meanwhile, Jungkook's life was falling apart. After you had left him, he had tried to move on with Hana, but guilt and regret consumed him. Their relationship was built on lies and infidelity, and it was not long before Hana left him too. Tied to his emotion distance, Jungkook's once bright words had turned dark. He found himself trying in regret, hunting by the memory of what he had done to you. His work began to suffer as well. The once confident and successful Jungkook started making mistakes, missing deadlines, and losing important clients. The company he had worked so hard to pull it was now slipping through his fingers, and he could feel anything he had once valued crumbling around him. Jungkook often found himself thinking about you, wondering if you had moved on, if you had found someone who treated you the way he should have. The thoughts of you being happy without him made his heart ache, but he knew he had no one to blame but himself. One evening, as Jungkook sat alone in his empty apartment, surrounded by silence, he realized that he had lost everything: his career, his relationship, and most importantly, you. And for the first time, he truly understood the cost of his betrayal. The end.